As the 2023 F1 season gets closer, everyone is excited about the possibilities it would hold for all the teams involved. The resting and preparation kick-started late last year, and we saw teams recruit more members, work on their cars, and improve their infrastructure. However, all of this is still geared towards ensuring that this coming season is more competitive and rewarding than the last. As we all know, the previous season saw Red Bull sweep the championship clean, and that was a bit disappointing. Now, with several press releases and interviews, we've seen other teams boast of performing better in their bid to win the championship. However, for Red Bull's Helmut Marko, he believes that most teams would be tooting Ferrari as the team to watch out for, but that's wrong. He is of the opinion that they do not have what it takes, and Mercedes is the team that would stand out in the coming season. Hey guys, welcome to another juicy episode of your favorite YouTube channel. Here we bring you all the latest and best content as they drop. In today's episode, we will look at Red Bull's Helmut Marko statement regarding the stiff competition for next season. Before we get into all that, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, make sure you do that. Also turn on our post notifications to get all our content as they drop. Red Bull had a remarkable end to 2022, with Max Verstappen clinching his second consecutive Drivers' Championship and the team winning both the championship and Constructors' crown since 2013. We have to acknowledge that this was a remarkable feat, as the duo of both Verstappen and Sergio Perez ensured that they dominated the season with an impressive 17 wins of 22 races. It was indeed a remarkable ending for both Red Bull and Verstappen, and a testament to their skill and perseverance throughout the season. Verstappen and his teammate Sergio Perez were simply unstoppable during the last 11 races of 2022, securing 10 wins for Red Bull. The only race they lost in between was the Brazilian Grand Prix, where George Russell drove to victory for Mercedes, their only win for the entire season. Although there were times when they had their internal beef, it didn't stop them from working together to achieve the ultimate goal. It was evident that Red Bull had a firm grasp of the new technical regulations, while Mercedes and Ferrari struggled to keep up with their performance. As the year went on and Mercedes got a better understanding of the performance of their W13 car, both Russell and his teammate Lewis Hamilton began to appear more prominently at the front of the pack. They were really pulling off some great performances, and both Red Bull and Ferrari could notice that the competition was getting stiffer at some point during the season. In spite of this late revival, they were unable to overtake Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship and claim second place. For Red Bull, the focus hasn't shifted away from Mercedes, as they still saw them as a potential threat heading into the new season. This must indeed have been discussed in Red Bull's backroom, because the team's chief advisor, Helmut Marko, had a lot to say about this. In an interview, Marko expressed his opinion on the challenge Mercedes may pose next season and mentioned that they are prepared. In his words, he said, "I would say that we should fear Mercedes more. It was clear that Red Bull needed to be prepared for the challenge that Mercedes could pose, and the team will be looking to start the new season with plenty of optimism." He went on to say, "Mainly because they, Mercedes, have an advantage over Ferrari in terms of strategy and reliability." Ferrari looked to be the most likely contender to challenge Red Bull early on, winning 2 out of the first 3 races. However, when their form dropped off in the later stages of the season due to engine reliability issues and strategic mistakes, the tide of the season changed. This was evident in the decision to run hard tyres in Hungary, which cost Leclerc a good chance at victory. From there on, everyone knew it would be an uphill battle. From leading at the top, they had to spend the rest of the season chasing after Red Bull, who had blazed to the top and weren't relenting. With this understanding and the zeal to vie for the championship in 2023, Ferrari has made some significant changes over the winter, including the appointment of Frédéric Vasseur as the team principal. They have also looked at working on their car in preparation for next season's title challenge against Red Bull and Mercedes. This decision would make it possible for a dogged 3-way fight that could tilt in any direction. Although for Red Bull's special advisor Helmut Marko, he thinks otherwise and believes the onus is on Red Bull to watch out for Mercedes rather than Ferrari. Based on all, we, the fans, should expect that we will be getting a very competitive season, as the top teams are boasting of an outstanding performance. Before we go on, let's take just a moment to remind you to subscribe to our channel. It would be best if you also turned on our post notifications to enable you get all of our content as it drops. Helmut Marko has doubts that Red Bull's success in 2022 could be the start of an extended period of dominance like Mercedes experienced when the V6 hybrid power units were introduced in 2014. In an interview, he said, Our situation is certainly not like that of Mercedes at the beginning of the hybrid era. We don't have an immense lead with the engine right now. Mercedes had controlled the racing world with their then extremely fast engine, which was churning out at least a 50 bhp margin over all others back then. We also have to remember that the rules during the Mercedes winning era were not as tight as this, so Red Bull may also have a bit of a drawback. Marko went on to comment on the stiff competition that could ensue next season and said, "Other teams have seen what we have done with this year's car, so I think it will definitely be much closer next season." We've looked at the opinion of Red Bull's Helmut Marko in regard to the stiff competition for next season. We understand his concern, and as fans, this is precisely what we're looking forward to in the coming season. We would love to see more competition and action, which would be better than the previous season. It's also essential for us to mention that the next season, slated to begin in mid-April, would probably start in March. So guys, if you enjoyed this, please subscribe and like this video. Also, please turn on your post notifications to enable you to get our content as it drops. Also, share your opinion with us in the comment section. We'd love to hear your take. We have so much more in stock for you this year. Thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you soon. Have a great one.